All right, it's time to look at some sleepers for the tight end position for 2022. Let's get it. Let's kick this list off by talking about Darren Waller. Waller is an absolute stud tight end. There's an absolute road that will lead Waller to being the number one overall tight end this season over Kelce. Kelce lost Tyreek Hill and Waller added Devontae Adams. You shouldn't be able to see the stacked boxes for Waller anymore. He should be able to use his exceptional speed to beat linebackers for plenty of opportunity this season. Waller should be drafted early in your draft and be an easy plug and play for your team week in and week out. Due to Waller being injured last season, the hype for him is at an all-time low. You should use the opportunity to strike and draft this electrifying tight end. If you are lucky enough to be able to have Waller on your fantasy team, you are sure to be a happy camper. Even in limited games, Waller had 55 receptions on 93 targets with 665 yards and 2 touchdowns. Look for Waller and the Raiders' offense to be flying high in 2022. Our next man on the list could be a shock to some. We're going to talk about Mike Gesicki. Gesicki had continued to improve each season that he has been in the NFL, and 2022 should be his best outlook yet. Gesicki received the franchise tag for 2021 and will make about $10.9 million. With the addition of Tyreek Hill and Christian Kirk, Tua will have ample amount of weapons at his disposal. When you're going to be staring at Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Christian Kirk, there will certainly be underneath opportunity for tight ends like Gesicki. Last season, we saw Mike Gesicki have 73 receptions on 112 targets for 780 yards and 2 touchdowns. I can easily see those numbers improving with the addition that the Dolphins had made on offense. I'm excited to see the chance that Gesicki has in front of him. As long as we see Tua progress as a quarterback, you can easily see a top 5 tight end in Mike Gesicki in 2022. Now it's time to talk about a tight end that nobody really likes, Zach Ertz. He agreed to a 3-year contract worth $31.65 million. Since Ertz has been a part of the Cardinals, he had 56 receptions on 81 targets for 574 yards and 3 touchdowns. This was about half the season. I view Zach Ertz as the ultimate sleeper. There are so many fantasy owners out there who have a bad taste in their mouth about Ertz because of the way he has burned people in the past. The hardest thing to do in fantasy football is to forget about the past and to look for the future. But for those who are staying away, we need to take advantage and shoot your shot for Zach Ertz. There's a strong possibility that you will be happy that you drafted Zach Ertz in the middle to the late round of your fantasy draft. When he does well, come back to this video and leave a comment thanking me for this advice. Now we're going to talk about another tight end, Gerald Everett. Everett signed with the Los Angeles Chargers this season after they let Jared Cook walk. In my opinion, Everett comes into the perfect opportunity. Last season with the Seahawks, Everett had 48 receptions on 63 targets for 478 yards and 4 touchdowns. He can certainly improve those numbers with a gunslinging quarterback like Justin Herbert. Everett's competition for tight end reps will be with Donald Parham, who is more of a blocking tight end. There should be tons of opportunity for Everett to be on the field and produce solid tight end 1 numbers for your fantasy team. Justin Herbert loves throwing to the tight end. Draft him in the late rounds and be glad you did in 2022. Lastly, we're going to talk about David Njoku. Njoku had the franchise tag placed on him this season and will become the number 1 target for Deshaun Watson and the Browns. Austin Hooper was released, which brings only Harrison Bryant as the competition for targets this season at tight end. His fantasy outlook will solely be on how many games, if any, Deshaun Watson will be suspended for. If you see 4 games or less of a suspension, then David Njoku has the potential to be a top 12 tight end this season. Njoku is an athletic freak with a great combination of size and speed. Thus far, over his 5-year career, we have seen flashes of what he can become. We just haven't seen it over an entire season yet, and now with a quarterback not named Johnny Manziel or Baker Mayfield, we may see Njoku's talent shine. In 2021, we saw Njoku with 36 receptions on 53 targets for 475 yards and 4 touchdowns. Look for David Njoku to turn some heads in 2022. I appreciate you guys as always for watching the video. As we ramp up to the 2022 fantasy football season, I'm looking to keep you guys informed all the way through it so you guys can dominate the draft and dominate the season. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and even leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the video, or if you want to add anybody else into this video as well. But other than that, we'll see you guys on the next video.